The year is 1749. The place is London. Imagine you are 17 years old, and your name is Will Marsden. Your world is Cheapside, the roaring heart of the city's commerce, and you are an apprentice to a haberdasher. Your day begins before the sun has even thought about rising. You wake on a straw mattress in a cramped attic, the air thick with the smell of unwashed bodies and a distant, ever-present stink of the city. London in the 1740s is a sensory assault. The reek of coal smoke, of horse manure from the thousands of horses that pull carts and carriages, and the stench from the Fleet Ditch, an open sewer that sluggishly winds its way to the Thames. These are the perfumes of your home. You pull on your rough wool breeches and linen shirt, no time for washing. Downstairs, your master, a stern but fair man named Mr. Albright, is already unlocking the shop. Your job is to take down the heavy wooden shutters. As you wrestle them open, Cheapside awakens. Iron-rimmed wheels thunder over cobblestones. Street vendors cry out their wares. Hot pies, oysters, fresh oysters. Their voices a chaotic symphony. A milkmaid, balancing pails on a yoke, dodges a speeding carriage, her curses swallowed by the din. Inside the shop, it's a world of color and texture. Ribbons of every hue are spooled on wooden dowels. There are cards of polished bone buttons, skeins of silk thread, and fine lace from Brussels. Your job is to learn it all, the price of every item, the quality of every fabric. How to charm a wealthy lady into buying an extra yard of French satin ribbon. You learn to measure, to cut, to tie a perfect bow, and to keep your eyes sharp for the street urchins who might try to snatch a loose item. Mr. Albright sends you on an errand to the Royal Exchange. You plunge into the human river flowing down the street. You pass St. Paul's Cathedral, its magnificent dome, designed by the great Sir Christopher Wren, rising above the smoky haze. It's a symbol of London's resilience, rebuilt after the Great Fire. But at its base, life is far from divine. Gin-soaked beggars with vacant eyes huddle in doorways, victims of the cheap spirit flooding the city. A crisis so stark that the artist William Hogarth has just captured it in his famous print, Gin Lane. You navigate past taverns spilling rowdy patrons into the street and coffee houses where merchants in powdered wigs discuss trade routes and insurance rates over steaming cups. These coffee houses are the city's brain, where news travels faster than any gazette. You hear whispers of ships arriving from the Indies, of war with the French, of the latest stock prices. This is the pulse of a global empire, and you are a tiny vessel in its vast circulatory system. Your journey takes you toward London Bridge. It's not just a bridge, it's a street suspended over the water, crammed with shops and houses several stories high, leaning precariously against each other. It's so congested that crossing can take an hour. Below, the River Thames is the city's true highway. Barges laden with coal, timber, and wool navigate the swift currents, their boatmen shouting insults and warnings. The river is London's lifeblood, carrying its commerce and, unfortunately, its filth. One afternoon, a crowd pulls you in a different direction west, toward Tyburn. A public execution is scheduled. It's a spectacle, a day out for thousands. People buy food, drink ale, and place bets on how the condemned will face the noose. You see the procession, the condemned in a cart, the chaplain, the jeering, cheering mob. It's a brutal, casual display of justice that serves as a grim warning to anyone who might step out of line in this unforgiving city. It makes your stomach churn, but you can't look away. This, too, is London. Back at the shop, a carriage stops outside. A lady and her daughter, dressed in silks that whisper of the wealthy West End, step inside. You must be deferential, your words polite, your posture bowed. Yes, madam. Right away, madam. You show them the finest lace, your hands careful not to smudge the delicate fabric. They represent a world of balls, theatres, and manicured parks, a world utterly alien to your own. The coins they leave behind, however, are very real. They are your master's profit, and a tiny fraction of them will one day, perhaps, buy your own freedom from apprenticeship. Evenings bring a different kind of life. The shutters go up, and the master allows you a brief period of freedom. You and the other apprentices might spend a precious penny on a meat pie, or gather in a tavern to drink small beer and share stories. You hear tales of those who've made their fortune, who started as apprentices just like you and now own their own shops, maybe even a country house. These stories are beacons of hope in the overwhelming darkness. One evening, you wander near Covent Garden and find yourself outside the Theatre Royal. You can't afford a ticket, but you can hear the roar of the crowd and the faint echoes of the actors' voices. You imagine the world inside, a place of drama and illusion. Standing there, you meet a man sketching in a notebook, his eyes missing nothing. He has a sharp nose and a cynical smile. He introduces himself as Hogarth. He points to a scene in the street, a drunken brawl, a pickpocket at work, and says, "There, my boy, that is the true theatre of London. A comedy and a tragedy in one." His words stick with you. For the first time, you start to see the city not just as a chaotic prison of smells and noise, but as a stage. You see the patterns in the chaos, the ambition in the eyes of the merchants, the desperation of the beggars, the resilience of the street sellers. You are a character in this grand, sprawling play. As the years of your apprenticeship pass, you change. Your hands become calloused but skilled. You learn to read the customers, to haggle with suppliers, to navigate the city's labyrinthine streets with confidence. Cheapside is no longer just a wall of sound. You can pick out the individual cries, the clang of a blacksmith's hammer, the rumble of a specific merchant's cart. The smells no longer just overwhelm you. They tell you where you are: the fishy tang of Billingsgate, the sweet scent of a bakery on Bread Street, the leathery aroma of a saddler's workshop. London is still a monster. It's dangerous, dirty, and deeply unjust. But it is also a place of immense energy and opportunity. You see the ships on the Thames, and you don't just see barges. You see goods from across the globe. You see fortunes being made and lost. You look at the grand buildings, and you see not just stone, but the ambition of the men who built them. You are no longer just Will Marsden, the boy from the countryside. You are becoming a Londoner. The city is seeping into your bones, shaping you, hardening you, but also teaching you. One day, your apprenticeship will end. You will be a free man of the city. Perhaps you will open your own shop. Perhaps you will fail and end up in a debtor's prison, or worse. The future is uncertain. But as you stand at the shop door, watching the endless parade of humanity on Cheapside, a new feeling begins to dawn. It's not just fear or disgust anymore. It's a thrill. This is the center of the world, and you are a part of it. The great, terrible, magnificent city of London is your stage, and you are finally ready to play your part. Thanks for joining us on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this glimpse into Georgian London, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more stories from history. See you next time.